I'm just really curious. Do people do that share buyback thing quite often, or?
Oh my God, you have no idea. In some of the years, before the pandemic and before the financial crisis and that, we're talking about between 500 billion and 1 trillion, I think, share buybacks globally. And listen, there's a lot of, if you go to do an MBA at Harvard or any finance, I mean, I did a master's in finance, so I understand, I advise companies to do that all the time. I understand the different reasons why one might do that. And I'm not saying it's all entirely ridiculous, but what I am saying is that it assumes a stable, predictable, and linear world, and it is fragile. So if you have a shock or things that are unexpected, which we're having an increasing amount of, that's what happens. So if you Google or just research it even superficially, you'll find that it's a big thing. And then these same airlines and banks or whatever come begging for money for the governments because they're in a particular situation. Or even the same as being hyper optimized. You have all these strategic consultants, least of which is McKinsey. If you, hopefully you're not sponsored by them, but anybody who wonders why I don't like McKinsey, just read when McKinsey comes to town and some of the amazing investigative journalists work from the Wall Street Journal. But the idea, whether it's McKinsey or others, is, hyper efficiency is a similar concept as this buyback, which is fragile. So, you hyper optimize supply chain, zero stock, zero inventory, But the problem is, as you've seen during the pandemic or other shocks or the geopolitical events recently, is that the minute anything goes wrong, the point of failure collapses the whole system. It's wonderful to be hyper optimized and hyper efficient and zero inventory and all that, and only have outsource in the best countries to outsource, etc. Unless there's sanctions, unless countries get taken over, unless there's shocks in the system, and anyone is a point of failure for the entire system. So basically, on paper, share buybacks, on paper, hyper-optimized systems are great, but actually building in that slack is what allowed Zoom to go from nothing to the most established video conferencing platform overnight, because it had that slack. If it was hyper-optimized, it would not have been able to be what it is today.